watching Media Addicts.
Hi, I'm Tom Casterline.
And I'm Lowery.
And welcome back to Media Addicts.
Today on Media Addicts, we're bringing back the 90s with NBA Jam for the Super Nintendo.
Released in 1993 by Acclaim, NBA Jam's a game where you play basketball. But it's a really, really good basketball simulator for its time. I mean, compared to the most latest edition of NBA 2K14 or whatever is out, it may be lacking a little bit, but it's really good, though, for Super Nintendo, and I'd even say it's one of my favorite basketball games, although I don't play very many.
This is the only basketball game I really like. When I played it, I really enjoyed it. It was really fun. The only thing I don't really like about it is the controls are really hard to get used to.
Well, it's probably because we're used to the, modern-day Xbox, PlayStation 3 controllers, and with these, you only got so much, so don't really have a lot to work with when it comes to control-wise, but once you get used to it, though, the controls are just fine, and actually, the gameplay really flows well with the controls.
Yep, like I said, it's really fun to play once you get used to the controls.
Yeah, speaking of old stuff, the graphics compared to nowadays are okay. For Super Nintendo, it looks really great, but nowadays you got them 3D graphics with the grays and the browns and all the cool polygon things,
Yep. It looks really good for pixelated graphics. Like you said, it's the Super Nintendo, and this is definitely one of the better games. It came when at the end of the Super Nintendo era. So
just around that time, yeah.
The audio was pretty good. I like the announcer's voice. It was most of the time announcers get annoying, but in this game it didn't really annoy it.
Oh yeah, the announcer was a very good choice on the game's part, because it's really hard to get voices in Super Nintendo games because of how primitive the audio is in it. But the fact that they were able to get an announcer voice that sounded genuine, very, very good for Super Nintendo. Not only that, but when music's there, the music's pretty good.
Along with the rest of the good things about this, there's secret characters. And this is pretty fun.
It's probably the funniest part of the game because, you can play as popular basketball stars that were, popular basketball stars from back in the 90s. You can also play as Bill Clinton, Al Gore, some kid named Air Dog.
He's like a little 12-year-old. It's really hard.
Wouldn't recommend it, but
good things about this was it's very entertaining, though.
Yeah, the game is very entertaining, and it will keep your attention for a while, definitely, especially if you like basketball games and you're okay with playing an old-school game like this. But the AI in the game is a little difficult.
Yeah. Well, especially if you're like us and we don't play sports games very often.
No.
So we weren't good at this. We got our butt kicked over and over again. Well,
but the announcer makes up for it.
Yep,
Just
hearing him
make fun of how bad our shots were made it all worth it.
Yep. So the rating out of 5 stars, we gave it a 4, just because it was fun to play. And the only bad thing about it was really the game was hard.
That's not really a bad thing because it's just hard.
Yeah.
And we're not the best. But what can you do? I'm sure there's somebody out there that will say, this game is for babies. Why did you think it's hard? But I don't know. The game was a little hard for us. But other than that, it was a great game, especially for its time.
And remember, I'm Lowery.
And I'm Tom Casterline.
And this has been Media Addicts.
Thanks for watching.